Every week, I go to my local grocery store. I'm always buying things from them, and they never buy anything from me, resulting in a trade deficit. Should I be upset? My relationship with the store may seem unfair to some, but it shouldn't be. Every purchase I make is a voluntary exchange. I'm clearly better off, otherwise I wouldn't have purchased the food. And the store obviously is better off as well. They use my dollars to buy other things, ranging from supplies to labor. The same is true if I buy something from an out-of-state business, even if that company never buys anything from me. We both nonetheless benefit, me because I have something I value, and them because they can use my dollars for something they value. And guess what? The same is true if I purchase something from a foreign firm. But this last example is somehow controversial, especially when you add my purchases to all the other purchases in the economy and then discover that Americans are buying more from foreign firms than foreigners are buying from American firms. But it turns out that this national trade deficit is largely irrelevant, just like my personal trade deficit with the grocery store doesn't matter. Let's take a closer look at the issue. The first thing to understand is that Americans are richer than almost everyone else in the world. So, of course, we can afford to buy more from them than they could buy from us. But I want to focus on a more subtle point. When Americans send dollars overseas in exchange for goods, what happens to that money? Little green pieces of paper don't have much intrinsic value to foreigners. They only value the money because they can use it to buy things. In many cases, they do buy goods and services from America. That's one of the reasons why the United States is one of the world's biggest exporters. But sometimes those foreigners decide that they want to use dollars to invest in the U.S. economy. This happens a lot because America tends to grow faster and offer a lot of opportunity. People in the U.S. sometimes choose to invest overseas, so this goes both ways. But the data show on net that America is a net winner in the race to attract investment. In other words, our trade deficit is offset in large part by a capital surplus. That's a sign of strength, and that investment helps to boost our economy. Except, of course, when foreigners are buying government bonds from profligate Uncle Sam, but that's the fault of too much Washington spending, not international trade. There's one final point I want to make. I stated earlier that dollars don't have much intrinsic value to foreigners, but much isn't the same as none. This is a wonky point, but the dollar is the world's reserve currency. It's used for the bulk of foreign trade, central banks in other countries hold reserves of dollars, and it's even used as an official or unofficial currency in some nations. This means that some dollars we send overseas don't come back, either to buy goods or make investments. But that's a good thing. Being the world's reserve currency generates all sorts of benefits for America, including lower interest rates. The bottom line is that people should be allowed to trade freely, whether they live in different towns, different states, or different countries. If the result of cross-border trade is a deficit, there's nothing to worry about, unless you're the type of person who thinks the local grocery store is somehow taking advantage of you.